US-Iran talks in Islamabad have ended after marathon negotiations without reaching any final agreement. Pakistan's Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar said Pakistan will continue to facilitate dialogue and engagement between the United States and Iran in the coming days. We are joined now once again by my colleague and host of World Tonight, James Nish, who is live in Islamabad for us. He's been following the talks. James, thank you for joining us again. Let me ask you, what has happened in the last 20 hours in Islamabad? Last 24 hours, sorry. It's been a long 24 hours. Recap for us. Tell us what's going on down there.
It has been an extremely long 24 hours, hasn't it? With 21 hours of discussions, but a very, very intense 48 hours. Both sides say they tried. Both sides say that they negotiated in good faith. But in the end, no deal. The United States and the Iranian delegations have left Islamabad. It's been confirmed that the US has left. We saw J.D. Vance together with the entourage leave early this morning after he delivered a press conference. Our sources are telling us that the Iranian delegation has now also left Islamabad, although no pictures have as yet been made available. Throughout the day yesterday, there was hope. There was optimism, the fact that those talks were progressing into the evening, that they continued into late night. At one point, it was even expected they could continue today. But I think the parties at one point decided, no, this is enough. We are not finding enough common ground. And the US was the first to confirm that it was walking away.
And what did the US Vice President say in his presser before leaving Pakistan this morning?
He delivered a short message, I think, just after 6 o'clock this morning, Pakistan time, and basically saying that our final and best offer is on the table and accusing Iran of rejecting it. And it's very interesting because throughout the course of the morning, we've seen finger pointing and blaming, one side blaming the other. The US says it's Iran that doesn't want it. Iran saying, well, the US has excessive demands and unlawful requests, and we just cannot say yes to that. Also saying that perhaps these talks happened in an air of mistrust, and now accusing Iran of that word that we used so much yesterday, trust. A breach of trust in these talks. We heard from J.D. Vance, who confirmed that they had been in touch with the US President Donald Trump during breaks in those negotiations yesterday. As we understand it, there were about 3 rounds, 3 sessions. They started in the afternoon, where they spoke for about 1 hour 20. It continued into the evening, and then there were some breaks. You will remember, if you were following our coverage closely, that we were also telling you about subcommittees, which were discussing some of the parameters like the economy, legal, politics. That seemed to indicate some progress, some good news. But J.D. Vance this morning in that press conference saying no. And he referred to the nuclear program as potentially one of those stumbling blocks. But also, we know that during the course of the evening, disagreement emerged over the Strait of Hormuz.
And what about from the Iranian side? What are we hearing that they're saying after the talks have now concluded?
Yeah, Iran says that the diplomatic efforts continue, so there is some hope, some expectation that in some way, shape or form these talks or some sort of negotiations can continue, potentially, I would imagine, at working level, at a technical level. We're not going to see the likes of the Vice President and Speaker of the Iranian Parliament, Ghalibaf, I think, sitting round a table again in the next few days. Pakistan has reiterated its commitment to continue being a mediator in these talks, saying it's available in the coming days. But we've heard in the coming days before, and it took slightly longer than that.
And what about the Pakistani government? What are they saying about the outcome of these talks and their role as mediator?
Yes, well, as I point out, Pakistan says it stands ready to facilitate, to continue being a mediator in these talks. We had a statement from the Foreign Ministry, from Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar earlier today, congratulating both parties for coming to the table, trying to make this sound a little bit more positive than it is today. It, of course, was really huge and positive news yesterday. The fact that Pakistan has got the US and Iran to be in the same room in face-to-face direct negotiations is a massive coup. This hasn't happened in decades. So huge achievement. What Pakistan has achieved here, as we've been reporting, is hugely remarkable. It's a great moment, and the world was watching. The world was asking the US and Iran to embrace the moment for de-escalation. But the deal wasn't possible. Pakistan remains hopeful, and it has to be said that Pakistan also was a mediator throughout the course of the evening. It said originally that his role was only to be a facilitator, but then we heard the word trilateral talks, where both the US and Iran had brought Pakistan into their confidence. Quite interesting, and we do need to point out that J.D. Vance also said in his press conference that any shortcomings in these talks was not the fault of Pakistan, who'd been a brilliant host and had done a wonderful job.
And a final question, James, what now? What should we expect next?
It's $1 million question, isn't it? I think we will now be watching closely what Donald Trump says next. Will he honor the ceasefire? I think that's question number one. We're about 5 days into this 2-week extension of the ceasefire, which was requested by Pakistan to the US. This was to give these talks a chance. We have about 9 days to go. We're not sure if all sides are going to honor that ceasefire. We haven't heard otherwise either. But there is a window of opportunity here for those technical working meetings to continue. But the situation could also escalate very quickly.